Don't forget to like and subscribe right now or these creepy fish will haunt you at night. How would you react if you came face to face with a sea monster from the Godzilla movie? Whether they are real or simply fictional, our imagination always gets grabbed by the stories of sea monsters. For ages, the seas and rivers have been closely associated with human communities around the world, but one thing remains true for all. In every tradition, these seas and rivers are regarded as home to the dangerous sea monsters that lurk for their next victims. Today we are counting down our picks for the top 10 legendary sea monsters. Starting off at number 10, Ebirah. Toho Films built an enormous business by creating movies starring their homegrown enormous radioactive monster Godzilla. Godzilla has faced many challenges over the years, including those that arose from the sea. So for a list of sea monsters, why not start with a creature that literally inspired the 1966 film Godzilla vs. the Sea Monster? Ebirah is a huge crustacean controlled by the Wicked Red Bamboo organization. It reappears in All Monsters Attack and then Godzilla Final Wars. Ebirah also has a superficial resemblance to Ganymedes, a mutated stone crab from the 1970 film Yogg Monster from Space, also known as Space Amoeba. On to number 9, we have Jormungandr. Jormungandr is also known as the Midgard serpent in Norse mythology because it is so long that it can wrap himself around the world and keep its own tail in its jaws. When the Midgard serpent, the offspring of Loki and a giantess named Angerboda, releases its tail, it heralds the start of Ragnarok. According to the myth, Thor wages a final battle with Jormungandr at a cataclysmic event in which he slays the mighty serpent only to die from its venom. At number 8, we have the lion turtle. This fabled sea monster can be seen in the universe of Avatar: The Last Airbender. However, unlike the other species on this list, this massive half-chimera, half-turtle beast is quite friendly. In the television series, the main character, Aang, unexpectedly encounters one of these terrifying animals while swimming in a trance towards a floating island just off the coast. When he learns that the island he's sitting on is the back of this massive creature, he dives into the water to speak with it. Lion turtles have such huge backs that they can support a complete ecosystem on their shell. A huge number of these creatures lived in the past according to the Legend of Korra, the sequel to Avatar: The Last Airbender, functioning as both shelter and guards for humanity. Settlements were created on the backs of these creatures in the early days of humanity, since it was the only safe location for humans to thrive, because the world outside the lion turtle towns and villages was occupied with unpleasant spirits who had a proclivity to assault people. In addition, when humans traveled beyond the colonies to obtain resources, lion turtles gave them the capacity to bend fire, water, earth, or air. These island-sized lion turtles didn't appear out of nowhere in Avatar: The Last Airbender. They're based on Aspidokilone stories, which are portrayed in medieval bestiaries as turtles or fish so huge that seafarers mistake them for islands. Number 7. Capricorn. When we hear the word Capricorn, we usually think of birth charts and zodiac signs, but this sea monster has its origins in Greek mythology. Capricorns have the face and upper body of a goat and the tail of a fish, allowing them to swim and lie on beaches. Despite having no physical sense, these animals were capable of speech and were frequently favored by the gods. Capricorn mythology begins with Precus, the first Capricorn who fathered the entire race. Kronos, the god of time, gifted Precus immortality and the ability to turn back time. When his Capricorn children wandered around the beach for too long and stayed out of the water, they turned into normal goats that couldn't swim, speak, or think. Precus utilized his time-reversing abilities to change the ordinary goats back into Capricorns. Precus couldn't keep track of how many times his children stayed on the beach, so he stopped attempting to fix the problem and lived a lonely existence. Kronos took pity on Precus and transformed him into the constellation we know today, so that he could see how all of his goat children were doing from the sky. Number 6. Cthulhu. It wouldn't be a good sea monster list without including at least a few of H.P. Lovecraft's squamous creatures who live beneath the seas. Cthulhu is the old gent's most renowned invention, resembling an octopus, a dragon, and a human caricature, according to Lovecraft. Cthulhu waked sleeping in his house in the submerged city of Arlai, according to Lovecraft's book, but there will be problems when he wakes up. On to number 5, the Kraken. The Kraken is a classic example of a sea monster with a perplexing name. The term originates in Norwegian and refers to an unhealthy or twisted animal, but it became prominent when it was used for one of the primary antagonist creatures in Ray Harryhausen's Clash of the Titans. The mythological Kraken resembles a big squid, whereas Harryhausen's Kraken was a humanoid sea monster with tentacle-like arms and a fishy tail. The Kraken was depicted more mythologically accurate in the second Pirates of the Caribbean film, while the 2010 remake of Clash of the Titans featured a creature that was a hybrid of the two, with some crab-like characteristics. Number 4. Scylla and Charybdis. Scylla and Charybdis are a matched pair who appear in Greek mythology, notably the Odyssey. Scylla signified the dangers of the rocky shore and was shown in a variety of forms, notably a lady with a dragon-like tail and dog head sprouting from her torso, while Charybdis represented a dangerous vortex on each side of the Straits of Messina. Between Scylla and Charybdis means roughly the same thing as between a rock and a hard place, and the two monsters have given us a phrase that has survived to this day. Number 3. Sea Bishop. According to folklore, the sea bishop or bishop fish was captured and presented to the King of Poland, who then displayed it to a group of Catholic bishops. The creature made the sign of the cross before sinking beneath the waves after the bishops released it. The bishop fish is a sort of fish that resembles a man, specifically a Catholic bishop, while traditions of the sea monk, a fish that resembles a monk, are also common. Experts eventually determined that the sea monk was most likely an angel shark, a kind of shark commonly known as a monkfish. The bishop fish first appeared in the 4th volume of Conrad Gessner's Historiae Animalium, an inventory of Renaissance zoology, as well as Johann Zahn's Specula Physico-Mathematico-Historica Notabilium ac Mirabilium Sciendorum, and has been linked to Apkallu, the half-human, half-fish sages of ancient Mesopotamia. Number 2. Gyarados. This terrifying sea creature has made numerous appearances in the Pokemon franchise. Gyarados is a freshwater and saltwater fish that is notorious for its nasty temper and destructive tendencies. Gyarados is supposed to have a profound link with trainers who are capable of capturing and taming this beast, as the monster will suppress its destructive tendencies to obey its master. Gyarados' sea serpent design was influenced by Chinese folklore dragons. These creatures, unlike European dragons, have a serpentine structure and prominent whiskers on their faces. Gyarados, oddly enough, evolves from the utterly useless Magikarp, a fish Pokemon incapable of doing anything more than splashing around. Gyarados' violent tendencies are attributed to a drastic shift in brain structure during evolution, according to Pokemon lore. And at number 1, Sirens. The Sirens are notorious for their seductive and beguiling songs, with which their names have become nearly synonymous, and for luring foolish sailors to smash their ships against the rocks. The Sirens haunted both Jason and the Argonauts and Odysseus on their respective trips in Greek mythology. Most representations of the Sirens depict them as part woman, part bird. However, some more contemporary adaptations have adopted a different approach, such in the 2003 animated adventure Sinbad Legend of the Seven Seas, in which the Sirens are portrayed as a kind of living water taking on humanoid form. Well, that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new to the channel to be notified when we upload more content.